everyone, my name's Ms. Lily. I'm a librarian here at the Rust Public Library, and today I'm going to talk to you about how an egg turns into a chick or a baby chicken. The reason I'm talking to you about this is that I own chickens, and every spring I hatch some of the eggs that my chickens lay so that I can have new baby chicks to add to my flock. And we're going to talk about how that happens. We are also going to do a live program on March 31st. By then, the chicks that are currently in the incubator will have hatched. And if you would like, you can register for that program and log in, and you can see the fluffy new little baby chicks. And you can also ask me questions about chicks and chickens. But to get ready for that program, I just wanted to give you guys some quick information about how an egg turns into a chick. So you need a couple factors in order for it to turn into a chick. You can't just take eggs that you've bought at the grocery store or that are in your refrigerator and put them in a warm place and have them turn into a chick, because for a few reasons actually. So one reason is that most of the eggs that you get at the grocery store have been washed and refrigerated. An egg, the shell of an egg is, even though it feels hard, it actually has 17,000 tiny little pores all over the surface of the egg, and that allows air and moisture to pass through. And there is also something called a bloom that is put on the outside of the egg by the hen before she lays it, and that creates a protective coating to keep bacteria and viruses and other things out. So that's because if in natural environments the chicken were to sit on the eggs and keep them warm, it protects them so that they can turn into a chick and hatch. However, if the eggs are meant to go to the grocery store, for sanitation reasons, they're washed and then they are refrigerated to keep them fresh. Washing them takes that protective bloom off the shell, which means it's not going to be able to turn into a chick because it's not going to have that protection, and refrigerating it makes it way too cold for it to ever turn into a chick. So I do have some eggs from my house here. These have been washed and refrigerated, so these would not ever turn into a chick. But I just wanted to show you, because just like how people have different hair colors and different eye colors, chickens can lay different egg colors. A lot of times you only see white eggs and brown eggs in the store. But depending on your breed of chicken, so this is a brown egg. This is from one of my chickens called a Rhode Island Red. But this one, you can see it's a little bit different. It's very light in color and it has little speckles. That's from my Australorp, which is a heritage breed, so you don't see it a lot. And and this one, it looks white in the video, but it's actually, if I put it up against my head or next to this brown one, it's actually kind of a pale bluish green. So that one comes from my Easter egger. The other thing is that eggs come in different sizes. So most of those eggs you get at the store are going to be about this size, because most chickens do lay about a medium-sized egg like this. But I also have what we call Bantam Chickens, which are kind of miniature chickens, and they lay these little white eggs. So see how much smaller that is from a regular egg? I also have ducks. Now I'm not hatching any ducks at the moment, but I just wanted to show you, this is how big a duck egg is compared. Look at how big that is. So my ducks lay much bigger eggs than my chickens do. So I just wanted to show you guys the different things, the different eggs you could see, because you don't see these a lot in the store. Usually you just see white or brown eggs. And it, like I said, it just depends on the chicken. So certain chicken breeds, just like how certain people have blue eyes or brown eyes, certain chickens lay blue eggs or brown eggs. And it just depends on the type of chicken. And I like having colorful eggs, so I purposely have what they call heritage breed chickens, which are breeds of chickens that have been around for a very, very long time, and they tend to have more interesting colors, and that's also why I hatch chicks every year, is because I want to keep having those types of chickens. So right now I put my when I'm recording this, I have had my chicks in the incubator for a week. Now it takes 3 weeks or 21 days for an egg to turn into a chick. And like I said, that's if it has the right environment. I put them in an incubator, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. The incubator keeps them warm. They need to be around 99 to 100 degrees, which sounds very warm, but it's exactly as warm as the little chicks need to be. And it also needs a certain humidity. Now, like I said, in nature, if the chickens were just out and living on their own, a mother hen would sit on the eggs for the 3 weeks. She would maybe wait until the warmest part of the day to get up and go get some food and water, and then before those chicks could cool down, she would be back on the nest. So an incubator is what most people use to mimic the hen. And that's just because it's a little easier for us humans, because we can decide when we are ready to have the chicks instead of letting the hen decide when she's ready. So I hatch my chicks in the spring. That's because when they're first born, I'm sure most of you have seen little tiny fluffy chicks. They don't have real feathers. They have this little fluffy downy feathers, and it's hard for them to stay warm. So you have to keep them inside under a heat lamp for about 6 weeks until they get more normal chicken looking feathers. And so the reason I wait until the spring to do that is because I want the weather to be nice and warm outside, so that when they do go outside, it's not getting super cold at night. So as I said, I'm filming this in early March. The chicks will hatch in 2 weeks from when I'm filming this. It's 3 weeks total. And then 6 weeks from then, it's going to be middle of April, end of April, they'll be ready to go outside. So it'll be nice and warm comparatively to how it is in March. So it'll be safer for them to go outside and join my other chickens out in the coop, so they'll stay nice and warm. So I just wanted to go over real quick. I have a picture. This is from Mother Earth News. We do carry this magazine, which is a great resource for people who want to learn about farming and gardening and all sorts of things. But this is basically the cycle of the chicken. So, but they don't really show it in here, but this kind of clear part all the way around is the white, what we refer to as the white of the egg. The technical term for that is albumin. And then this orange part is the yolk. So some people might think that the egg that you get at the grocery store and you cook or eat with is the baby chick. That's not exactly true. The yolk and the white are the food for the baby chick. So that's the same reason we're able to eat it as well, is that it is food. And so the yolk and the white feed the baby chick as it develops in the egg. But as I said, that is actually the food, not the chick itself. By about 4 days, the chick will start to develop in the egg, and you'll be able to see an eye. Its little toes are starting to form. Then this is day 10 here. By day 10, they're starting to get feathers. They have grown eyelids and nostrils. They also have toenails, and they also start to grow what's called an egg tooth. An egg tooth is this little bump on their beak that falls off shortly after they've been hatched, but that allows them to peck through the shell from the inside. The next picture is day 16. Day 16, the albumin, or the egg white, has almost been completely consumed by the chick. He or she takes up almost all of the egg, and its body is covered with fluffy down, and it's really very close to resembling what we know as a chick. And then this last picture is day 20, which is usually the day before the chicks hatch. The chick is taking up almost all of the egg. The yolk has been fully absorbed at this point, and the chick usually will tuck its little head under its wing, and that is considered its position for it to get ready to hatch. And usually on day 20 to 21, chicks will do what's called pipping, and that is that they use the little egg tooth, which is the little bump on their beak, to start cracking the shell. Usually it can take anywhere from a few hours to a whole day from the time that they pip, but basically what they do is they break the shell from the inside. And so I'm going to try to catch the hatching on video, and we'll probably post it as a separate video, maybe on our Facebook page. But once the pipping happens where it cracks the egg, that means the chicks are getting ready to come out. And the really interesting thing is they will actually cheep to each other. So it kind of encourages the other chicks who are in the process of hatching to, keep going, because it's a very tiring process. They got to break out of the, they're very squished in that egg, and they have to be able to break out. And so that is the entire process. They actually grow very, very fast. In just 3 weeks, you go from having a regular egg that you would find in any grocery store, but like I said, under the right conditions and temperature and care, it will develop into a chick and hatch in just 3 weeks. So I hope you guys have found this really helpful and informative. I would also recommend that if you want to learn more, you visit your local library branch. We do have books in the system that you can check out about the development of eggs to chicks, and I hope you will also join us on March 31st for our live program, and if you have any other questions, you will be able to ask them then, and you'll also be able to get to see the cute little fluffy chicks. Okay, so I want to show you the incubator real quick before we wrap up this video, just because I think it would be helpful to see what the actual incubator looks like. So let's take a look at that real quick. Hi folks, so I just wanted to show you real quick what the eggs look like when they're in the incubator. I'm not going to talk too much about the different features of the incubator just because everyone is different, and we're talking more about how the chicken hatching works as far as the biology of it and everything, so I'm not going to go into too many details about the actual machine, but basically what an incubator does is substitutes the mother hen. So it keeps the eggs warm at a steady temperature, and it keeps a certain level of humidity because the chicks do need a certain level of humidity to keep everything moving around inside the eggs while the chicks develop. And then this egg, what's going on here is that this white thing is an egg turner. In nature, the mother hen would turn the eggs regularly, and that is to kind of help the chicks develop correctly. It has to do with like where the air is in the egg, where the yolk, which is their food, is within the egg. So since we don't have the mama hen doing that, the incubator does that for us. It turns the eggs on a regular basis. So there you go. We have about 14 eggs in there. They're all different types from all my different hens, and hopefully I will do another short video that maybe we'll post on Facebook once the actual chicks hatch. But basically it takes 21 days or 3 weeks for these chicks to hatch. They've been in the incubator for a week, and pretty much you just, other than adding water to keep the humidity at a certain level, you put them in and you leave them alone because you want it to remain as steady as possible inside there. The only difference is in the last 3 days, I'm going to remove that white egg turner because on the last 3 days they don't get turned. And then we also increase the humidity by adding more water because that humidity helps the chicks get out of the shells. But like I said, it's pretty much, that's about it. There's not much going on for the first 18 days of the hatching other than checking on temps and humidity. The real excitement happens in, day 20 to 21 when they start hatching, and like I said before, I will try to capture that, and we'll post that on a separate video prior to the WebEx thing so you guys can see that. Alright, so now that you've seen the incubator and how that's all set up, as I said, they are going to be hatching in about 2 more weeks from the time we're doing this video, but I would like to invite you all to register to join us for our live session on March 31st. Hopefully we'll be able to put a link below this video. You can also find it by checking our calendar on the library's webpage, and that'll give you an opportunity to see the chicks because they will have hatched by then, and ask any questions you have about the chicks or about having chickens. If this is something you're interested in, I would also recommend going to your local branch of our libraries and checking out some books. We have lots of great books on chicks and chickens and how eggs develop. So I hope you found this useful, and I hope that you can join us for our live program. I will also, as I said, try to capture the actual hatching of the chicks, and we will probably post that on our library Facebook page when that happens, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks. Bye-bye. Alright guys, so here are some of my chickens. Oh, and some more are coming. I've actually just put some bird seed out for them to kind of get them to come. They know that I am the one that brings them food, so when I come out, they tend to come and hang out. This guy all the way on the right is our rooster. You can tell he's a rooster because he has a slightly bigger comb and he has those long, gorgeous tail feathers. He's actually called a phoenix rooster, so his tail feathers are longer than most regular roosters. And then we've got 4 of my 5 hens. I think maybe another one is laying eggs right now. She might be in the coop. But as you can see, chickens come in all different colors and shapes and sizes. This brown one in the front is a Rhode Island. The 2 black ones are Australorps. And then the kind of beigey one, she's an Easter egger, which means she lays greenish blue eggs. Chickens are omnivores, just like humans, so that means that they eat both vegetables and animal protein. And by animals, I mean bugs. They will eat all sorts of bugs. They love bugs. They're actually a really good reason to keep in the yard is because they will eat ticks and different things, but they also love fruits and vegetables. So they're very happy to scratch around and find seeds and nuts and whatever else they can find in the yard, but I also bring them my kitchen scraps, so any, like cut up vegetable bits and pieces or fruit we don't use will go out to the chickens. They will eat them, and then those will turn into eggs.